definitely need more.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Like for my birthday a couple years ago, it's so good. It's one of my favorite books. Because like he tells it kind of like a How are we gonna get through it?
This is actually a nice little talk. Holy fuck.
One by
We'll talk about Sasha. We'll talk to Sasha. If Sasha ignores it, we can go get the plywood piece.
Yeah.
And then just make the complete platform here.
Wait, Brad hand sanitizer, right?
Well, that's our hardest. That's
Yep.
What would you think would happen when he comes?
I'll wake up earlier, because that's why because I usually go to bed later, just because.
I want to hang up one.
Hello everyone, thanks for joining me on this beautiful and slightly breezy day. Today we'll be working on part 2 of the tree house or tree tower series. If you haven't yet watched the previous episode, what we've made is all the systems. So that includes the pulley system, ladder, harness, pretty much just everything to start building this project. Today's episode will be mainly focused on the structure of the tree platform. So that includes the cross pieces and the 2 side pieces. So let's get right into it. So we started off today by salvaging a fence or disassembling it. So we had a property owner nearby who was taking apart an old fence, and he had a couple of wooden planks that he was about to throw out. So we went ahead and brought them over here and started to disassemble them with crowbars. Now the pieces were actually glued together, so we had to use a wooden mallet to wedge the crowbars in, and then essentially we put them in 2 at a time, and then once the front one pushed the wood apart, and the back one became loose, we pretty much switched places, and we kept on putting it forward and back until we finally split the piece off. So these would act as our cross pieces, which are going to be the pieces perpendicular to the main 2 supports, and we were thinking about the dimensions that we would use for them. We ended up settling on about the length from crosspiece to crosspiece, and then 13 inches overhang on each side. So this would offer us a pretty good platform to sit on and something large enough that we could actually walk around, which is what we were aiming for. So with everything measured, all we had to do is start cutting the pieces. We just took the long ones that we had and halved them, that way we can save planks. So that ended up being, I think, 44 inches, somewhere around there. Then we had to position them pretty much all along the cross pieces. Now this was one of the more challenging parts, as if they weren't pretty much aligned and there was a slight overhang on one side, that would make all of them crooked. So then when we want to put the two side pieces, it wouldn't actually be a tight fit. So we have to be really precise with this part and try and get everything in a straight line. Once we measured out everything, all we had to do was attach it with rafter ties. Another option we could have opted for is using a timber frame, so half notching the top one, half notching the bottom one, and then sliding them in. However, this is way too much work, and it's much easier to just go to Lowe's and buy $20 worth of rafter ties, and then just screw them all in. Plus, it does make a more stable platform, because the pieces are actually, there's more of the pieces. If we were to cut half, then that would pretty much reduce the amount of wood that we have, which wouldn't make it as secure. So what we ended up doing is putting about a foot of distance between each of the cross pieces. This ended up giving us about 2 cross pieces on the left side, 2 in the middle, and 2 on the right side. So it's pretty much all symmetrical, which just happened by chance. So with all the pieces laid out, all we have to do is put in the rafter ties. We pretty much screw them into the bottom cross piece first, the main support, and then from there, we added in the cross pieces. Now we used about, I'm guessing 100 screws, but about half of them fell to the floor, which we never found again. So piece of advice, if you're doing this in a bushy area, try and hold on to your screws as best as possible, because a lot of the time they're going to be slipping and falling down all over the place. So with all the cross pieces attached with the rafter joints, the platform was starting to become more stable. However, it's still really dangerous to stand on one end, because this would put so much tension on the rafter ties if all your weight's on it that it might actually break and lead the platform to falling over. So at this point in time, it's really important to not actually step on any of the cross pieces and only use the main 2 supports and the trunk of the tree as, I guess, like stepping supports. So from there, we had to attach the 2 side pieces, which we did by buying a couple of joist hangers. In total, we got about 12, so 6 on one side, 6 on the other side. We brought over a plank that spanned pretty much the entire length of all the cross pieces, measured it, and then screwed it in. This was very challenging as the joist hanger would always slip and was constantly falling. So to get around this, I actually screwed in a nail or screw on one end, and then while that end was being supported by the screw, I just fitted in the joist hanger on one side and then finished all the other ones. So that's pretty much what we finished over the last couple of days. So hopefully once we put in all these screws on the rafters and joist hangers, we can actually start the braces and then last put in the platform. So it's coming together really quickly, and so far I'm really happy with how it's turning out. If you guys like this video, want to see more, let me know in the comment section, or if you have any suggestions, I'm also open to that. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you guys in the next video.